Hello everyone. In this video we are going to talk about business transaction events, that is BTE. In my last video I discussed about explicit enhancements, which means enhancement point and enhancement section. I also tried to give some overview on the system logs and a bit of module pool programming, which I thought was important and I couldn't cover in my earlier videos. So today we are going to talk about business transaction event. Let me just go into SAP. So this is the SAP screen. So before I proceed, I would like to mention here is that business transaction event, I would say, is the least popular enhancement technique used by the web consultants. And the reason could be the awareness. Even though I'm going to discuss a lot about BTE now, but then for me also the usage percentage for BTE is almost like just 10% of overall enhancements which I'll make. But then of course every technique, every method will have its own pros and cons. So BTE is very similar to your customer enhancement. If you guys remember the concept of customer enhancement, and if you guys have already gone through my earlier videos of related to enhancements, so there also we are actually hitting a function module which is embedded in the standard code as called customer function 001 or something like that. And inside that function module we will be having a z include, which we can double click and modify. So we need to create a project, customer project, for that using cmod and then activate the project. That way it activates the component of that function module. Eventually it activates the customer exit. So this concept is also very similar, but then again there is some difference. So the difference, and I would say cons for this method, is we are not going to change any layout by using BTE. We cannot change the screen layouts. But then pros, so that was the con, and then the pros would be that whatever we are going to do via BTE is not going to be embedded in the standard code. It's no way going to impact the standard code. So what happens, as the name itself suggests, it's called business transaction event. So in important critical transactions, SAP will provide certain places where this event will be called, a particular event number, let's say 1110 or 1650 or 1250 something, and then that would be called via a function module open fi perform or outbound underscore call underscore event name, or at least there would be a comment related to openfi perform. So these are the methodologies, I would say, using which we can identify an event for that particular transaction. So before I go ahead, I would also like to mention here is that BTE is mostly used in FI, but then at the same time it's not limited to FI. Sometime you might see a good BTE or an event available in an OTC transaction or in an APO or a CRM related transaction. So it all depends. But then when we talk about BTE, I would say 70% of the time we talk about a finance related transaction or an FI transaction. So there is a very, I would say, there is a very common transaction used in almost every company, P60. Okay, so this transaction is basically to validate the invoices of the vendor, whether if there is any duplicate invoice already available. So basically that's the whole purpose. So if I'm going to system status and then the program, if I try to search for open, so you'll see that you'll find something like open fi perform underscore and then 1020 underscore e. So basically this is a function module which is embedded into the standard code, very similar to your customer exit, but yes, it cannot modify the layout. So event is 1020. OpenFI perform is a symbol that a BTE can be implemented under this event. Okay, so the process I'm going to explain later after a couple of minutes. So this is one way. The other way would be to search for outbound underscore call. Either of these two should be available so that we can identify. So you can see outbound underscore call underscore. So this is an event 1140 or one outbound call this. So outbound call or OpenFI perform. So these two function modules with an event name would be available in the code, and then you can understand that you can implement a BTE or a business transaction event. So I think after watching this video, you will be aware of this concept completely. And then when you are enhancing a finance transaction, please, apart from user exit, customer exit, BADI, enhancement framework, you also think of a business framework, as I keep on saying business framework, which is your BTE, business transaction event. So enhancement framework is already discussed and completed in the earlier videos. Business framework we are discussing today in this video. So this whole concept is business framework. So I go back. So now you know how we can find out uh, whether a BTE can be implemented for a transaction. We have another important transaction in FI, and I'll talk about FI, FPL5N. Basically for customer line items display. Similarly, we have FPL3N for GL account line item display, FPL1N for vendor line item display. So all three transactions are simple reports. This selection screen is a simple selection screen, nothing special, no module pool in this one. It's a simple report, and if I go to the status, I can see the screen number 1000 and starts with R. So I can understand, and obviously we can understand hereafter, or everyone can understand that this is a simple program, a simple report. Now in this, I'll try to search for outbound underscore. Let's see if it's available. If it's not, open underscore. So at least open. So there is something related to open. So when I go and double click here, I can see that an event 1650 is being called via function module BF functions find. So what exactly is going to happen here? So again, this is also a valid scenario for BTE. Apart from those two things which I just explained, that is outbound call and OpenFI perform, you can see a BF functions find. And what happens? It's basically going and try. It will go and try to see if there is a function implemented under event this, so that it can go and refer to that function and do the needful or required task. So these are some of the ways using which we can identify a BTE, okay, or an event, a business transaction event. So the transaction FIBF is the business framework transaction for business transaction events. And then if I go to settings, I can see two options: products of a partner, of a customer. So guys, when you are working for SAP, for a client who has implemented SAP and they use it for their business, then you are a customer. But then if you are working for a company which develops a product and then they sell that product, so they can customize using a partner's product of a partner, and then they can do the needful here. Since you are a customer, you are using it for your business, you need to go to this. Now so I'm again going to FPL5N, and then I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do it successfully or not, but let's try, because it's an IDES system. So you can see I have couple of fields available here, and then I want to enhance the number of fields in the output. So you can see I have a lot of fields in the output. For example, can change the layout. I can choose my fields. Special GL indicator, let's say I take this field. So you can see nothing is coming here as of now, but okay, nothing is there. I don't have a good data to, let me see if I can get a better data. So it's selecting a lot of data, but let's see. I think it will select some 5000 line items. So we'll just be patient. Okay, so I'll just pause it so that once the output is there, we can continue. Okay, so I got this output, and let me just try to change the layout, and if I can get any indicator there. So debit and credit indicator is there. So S and H. Okay. So for S we will say it's a credit to us, and for H we will say it's a debit to us. So whatever is negative, it's going to be, or we can just think other way. Okay, whatever is S would be debit to us. This is something we are going to pay. Whatever is H, will say it's a credit to us. This is something we are yet to receive. Okay, so now I want to add some more fields in this transaction, and then I want to enhance based on my requirement. I'm going to FIBF, and if you guys remember, we have already identified that the event was 1650. If you guys just forgot it, so just rewind the video and just go back to that section once again. So first step, go to settings, products of customer, and create a new product here. Let's say G credit debit. Save it, go back. Settings, product selection of customer. Okay, and then create a new entry. So my event was, you can do an F4 here, and you can try to see the event 1650. So 1650, which was called inside that FBL5N or 3N or 1N, it's basically to add to data per line. So it will add some data per line. Product is G, CD, internal control application is F. fi function module. Let's say we give y cfi underscore 1650, something like this. Okay, now there is a story behind this function module. So for each event there would be a sample function module already existing. Sample underscore interface underscore 1650. So you can replace this event number and you will get different function modules. So it will be a pre-existing function module. So why this is existing? So that you can refer this, and then based on this you can see the import and export parameter, and you can decide on your coding process. So here it's very similar to RFPOS. So I don't see any CI include here. No, I can't change it. So there is no CI include. If there is a CI include, that should be priority. Okay, so no CI include. So go to append structure, G BTE, BTE test, and then let's put GSHK ZG. It's a credit or debit. So I did a predefined type. I am not going to create a domain or data element. So while activating this, it will also activate the complete RF pause structure, and it will also activate the programs attached to RF pause. So I'll again pause it so that it doesn't waste time. So while it gets activated, I'll go to a new session. BERP, there is a transaction BERP, business transaction event process interfaces. And if I activate this, sorry, if I execute this, you can see BTE search for partner or product or a customer product. So different options are there, customer product and all. So if you choose any event here and click on sample function module, it will take you to the sample function module attached to it. So what we need to do, okay, what we need to do, we need to select this and we need to go to the sample function module and we need to copy this function module. We are not going to modify this function module. This is just an indicator how your function module should look like. We should not make any changes in this because it's not allowed, and that's why we make a copy of this and attach it here. So we are going to create this function module. Before that, we will just complete few prerequisites. So we appended a structure GBTE in RF and similarly there is another structure RF X. We need to enhance this structure as well. Go to append structure. So once the enhancement is done, this field would be available as you just saw here. It would be available here, and then there is another program RF X extend. So RF extend is a program which will extend the structures of RF and RF X. So basically it will activate the extended structure. So this is a sample program given by SAP, standard sample program. We need to execute this so that it will activate the structure within the standard configuration. And it's a mandatory one, so you might ask how you will come to know about it. So you need to do a bit of Google, because when you are extending a standard structure, you also need to do some adjustments in the code. So I found it from Google, otherwise it won't work. Now I'll go back to my BTE. So till now we did two configurations here. We created a product for a customer, which is GCD, and then in the product settings of customers, we has created an event. Basically we assigned an event with a function module like this. So we need to create this function module similar to the sample function module which we will be doing. This is our repository for BTE. BERP is the transaction. And there is another transaction BF34. I think this one is not relevant. Okay, leave it then. So program completed successfully. Our task is done. This is done. Next is go to SC37 and then for this sample function module make a copy, because we are not supposed to make a change in this. So make a copy. Let's take a custom function group. Done. Okay, and then if you go here, you can change it now. So you have your import, you have your export, and then you have your source code. Let's put a breakpoint here and we'll see at runtime what happens. L5. So nothing happened. If I try to see, my field is also not displayed here. Okay, so if you guys remember, I think I missed some steps. Slash and FIBF. I went and created a product for a customer, GCD, and this, and then I went to settings for this product, assigned the event here, created a function module which is now existing, and there is a breakpoint. So next step which I missed, I believe, is settings, products again, and then make it active. Once you select this, then only it will be active. And let's try it now. So now, since the product is now active, it is going to debugging mode. And in the debugging mode, my purpose is to check what all things are available in input and output. So SHKZG is the indicator S, and GSHKZG is the field which we appended in the standard structure. So we appended only one in the tutorial, but then if you know the process, you can take all the control and you can do whatever you want. Okay, now I'll go back and let's try to write some code there. So yes, I want to exit because this function module is going to be a problem. In the sense, this breakpoint is going to be a big pain because we have more than 3000 or 4000 line items. So I underscore pause tab if hyphen shkzg equal to s, e underscore pause tab hyphen g shkzg equal to, let's say, debit. End if. Activate this. Let's execute the transaction FPL5N. This is all coming as blank. I think this could be the result of my function module. Let me just comment my code. Yes, so we need to initialize the output like this. Whatever is coming in input should go to the output. I think that's the reason. Otherwise, since this was blank, this was also getting blank. And then let's do a PL5N once again. So we are getting it. Yes, this one. So you can see it's coming as DR or whatever we define. So in the function module we can define it as else. So we'll make it CR. So you can see DR or CR, debit or credit, and this way you can customize the layout. So what you can understand here is that we are not disturbing the actual code, and we are actually just using a function module interface provided by SAP as a part of product customization as a customer, not as a partner. Okay, if you are working in a product development environment and your company is selling its own SAP products, then you guys might want to use as a partner option. Now you must ask a question that why this is coming blank. However, others are having some value. So basically that's the problem with our with my, I would say, laziness. Okay, RF pause X. Let me just, sorry, change this. So basically the problem is that I should give a proper domain and data element. Let me just activate this and then we'll see the impact. Because if you have a standard domain and data element, it will carry its own documentation and field identification, so that will display there. Where is that gone? I'm just trying to find it out. the field label here? Oh, it's blank again. So better to, so you can do one thing. I'm not going to waste my time in that. What you need to do, you need to create a domain and data element, custom domain and data element, so that it can, so or I can try to find out something. 2-digit, 2, length 2. So give a proper data element which is having a field label attached to it. RFPOS, just activate this once again for safer side. Activate this one as well. Region code, okay. Execute that program once again just to activate everything. So it will run just for one customer account now. I forgot to change this, okay. I think blank was the easier option to identify region code. And you can see DR. So don't go with region code. You need to give a proper data element and domain so that you get a meaningful header here. So friends, this is all about BTE, and then I hope you will take advantage of whatever you learned in this video, and I'm sure it was of some benefit to you. People who are watching this randomly, guys, please visit my website sites.google.com/site/latest ABAP, and then I have a humble request to everyone. I have started creating shorter videos now, just 39 minutes, and then I think everyone can afford a good internet. And then just guys, don't download my videos in your system or personal laptops or office systems. There is a high chance of being this misused, especially from commercial side. There are copyright issues, so please don't ever try to download this. And this is just a humble request, please watch it online. And if you are watching it randomly, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You'll get all the details on my website. You can connect to my Facebook page as well, and then so that you get all the updates. And last but not least, if you were able to get something out of this video, if you are able to make something out of this video in terms of knowledge upgradation and all, so don't forget to hit the like button, And if you didn't understand anything, then no need to hit the dislike button. Thank you, and see you again with next video.